Have you ever felt that you're being so nice and kind to people, but in return, people usually use your kindness and being nice to their advantage and actually to your disadvantage? I feel some of us might already experience this sort of feeling, including myself, right? But what is the problem? Isn't it being kind and nice a good trait? Yes, it is. That I strongly believe that most of people do not have this trait of being nice and kind. But since you're a lucky person and have that trait, so how you should use it to a point that it's actually benefiting you instead of harming you. I'll tell you, darling. So the problem is not being nice or being kind, that people are using that in your disadvantage. The problem is that you are being so nice and kind without boundaries. Yes, honey, what we lack here is boundaries. You need to set boundaries. You don't need to decide that, you know what, I was nice, I was kind, and people used and abused that, and from now on, I don't want to be kind and nice. No. The problem was not you being nice or kind. Instead, the problem was you not having boundaries. Okay, so let's keep boundaries in mind, which I strongly believe it's very, very important to set boundaries in every stage of your life. Relationship, work, education, society, friendship, intimacy, intimate relationship, anything. We need boundaries. Even when we talk with our siblings and our parents, I strongly still believe that we need boundaries between them also, which most of people think the boundaries is something between us and outsiders. But no, honey, we need boundaries with everyone. If you're someone that has a child or you have children, you need to have boundaries even with them, okay? Or your husband, wife, and something like that. So anyway, so now I'm going to explain the importance of boundaries in our lives. I'll give you guys some example of it, that where we need to set boundaries to protect our mental health, emotional health, and peace of mind. So one of the important thing that I strongly believe in regard setting boundary is that to stop oversharing. Some of us just share too much about our daily activity, about our personal life, about everything with anyone. And I think it's time to stop oversharing, because you need to remember there is some people that fish for personal information, that they can use that one day against you. And you probably, I am 100% sure that those people that overly share their stuff, they usually get hurt by some people that use those information against them. So if you want to keep your peace of mind and if you don't want to get hurt, please stop oversharing, right? And how you can do that? By setting boundaries between yourself and others, by telling yourself these are some private stuff that's only I need to know, and there is some stuff that it's okay to share with other people. Okay, so this is for that. And there is also one problem that most of us that do not consider in life is to not letting other people to overshare with us. Yes, as much as it is bad for you to overshare your information with others, it is also so bad for you letting other people overshare their stuff with you. you know what, it's like you letting them to say whatever happened to them. It's oftentimes toxic, negative stuff that happened to their lives, and they look for some head and ears to listen to their miserable stories and things that happen to them. So when you're letting them to talk about those stuff with you, you basically letting them to dump on you emotionally, which I call it myself like letting them to throw up on you. How disgusting is that? So stop letting people to overshare with you, right? That's happened to me a lot, where one of my significant others, my family member, which is younger than me of course, and they like, hey, you know that person, she got a friend and they talk to her like blah blah blah, and I'm telling her, hey, you know that by listening to them you're not helping them first, and the second of all, you may be able to help them, but you're actually working to your disadvantage, because that person basically throwing up on you and keep your mind busy with their own stuff. So why you should let them to do that to you? It's not fair, and if you don't care about fairness, it's not good for your mental health. So please stop letting people to overshare with you. That's one thing, right? Another important things that we learn about setting boundaries is to learn where and when to stand up for ourselves, right? I'll give you guys an example for your better understanding, because I strongly believe most of us do not know where we should stand up for our rights and where we shouldn't, and there is not necessarily that we need to stand up for things, right? So anyway, for instance, your friends pressuring you into drinking alcohol while you're against drinking alcohol, right? So if you're someone not assertive, not brave enough, someone that doesn't know how to say no or stand up for themselves, even though they don't like to drink, they just go with the flow and crowd. Just because their friends said let's drink, they accept and go. For instance, I'm someone who has never drunk before, and I have no intention to start drinking, and I've been in situation where my friends or people that I spend time, which they are not around me right now, so they were like having some beers and alcohol, and they were like, hey, try it once. And I told them very clearly that I have no intention to drink, and it's nothing that you can have it, but I am very careful about what I put inside of my body. And I told them no. And the second time, they thought that if they ask me, I'm probably going to change my mind. Apparently they didn't hear me well, or what I told them wasn't enough for them to be convinced, and they asked me again. And I was like, you know what, I understand you like to drink and you're free to drink as much as you want, but I'm good. And thanks, I don't want to drink, and I have no intention to drink. And it's not because somebody forced me to not drink, right? But that's just my personal opinion, and I stand by for it, and please don't ask me anymore. And they didn't. And so yeah, there I learned to stand up for myself, even though people wanted to push me into things that I didn't want to do, like drinking is one of them. That can be something else, I don't know. People may ask you to go to a club with them. If that's something against your belief, you gotta stand up for yourself. Or like your friend wants you to do something, anything that you're against, you may stand up for yourself. And also learn that you don't have to explain everything to everyone for things that you do. You don't have to. Why do you need that you need to explain for every action that you take to anyone? You don't want to drink, you just don't want to drink. Sometimes you don't even need to explain to people. Who are they? Your no should be enough, unless they are so close to you and you feel the need to explain to them. Another important thing that I strongly believe very important with setting boundary is to stay away from people who only makes promises but will disappear when it's time to take action. We all I'm sure, like at least I had those type of people in my life where they made promises, but when it was time for them to take action and show it to me, they disappeared, they brought excuses, they made justification for things that they couldn't do, for the promises that they made. So it is very important, and you probably think, why? That's okay, I completely get it. Once can happen. Sometimes that person, something happened to them and they can't fulfill that. But we know, like when it's happened 2 times, 3rd time, come on honey, you gotta understand that they are playing with you. They're only making promise, but they don't fulfill them, right? And it is important to stay away from them. Why? I'll tell you why. It's not very simple. Because they are going to waste your time. First of all, waste your energy, create false hope, and make you to not trust other people anymore. Take care of yourself to the best of your ability. I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for watching my previous videos. And please, if you liked it, make sure you like, comment your ideas about this video, or you have any suggestion, make sure you put them there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.